Good morning, everybody, and good evening in the Eastern countries. People in the Eastern countries, very nice to see you again today, and welcome back. I would like to start to some sort of short review from yesterday, because there was one question. Andreas, please concentrate on that. The question was regarding concurrence. If you are from someone concurrence, so competition. How do you have to react, and how could you react? This kind of things. Of course, I try to give you some short explain yesterday, but I would like to tell you one more for today. This question was one of the most difficult parts. There's no one answer because everything is dependent circumstances, and the main thing is you all working for a company or institute or some organization. The main task will be success of your project for the company or university or institute or wherever you are working. So this is the main task. It's not the main task that you will get more power, more higher title, and higher salaries and so on and so forth. Of course, that's the most interesting part for an individual point of view, but it's not the main task. Main task need to be, you should not lost your main aim. So this is important, basic things. And then, in order to achieve this target, this aim, of course, sometimes you need to apply some certain method to obtain, to reach that your common interest, common object, common aim. So sometimes, of course, you need to fight for that position in order to reach your common goal. It cannot be always very peaceful and very friendly. Sometimes you need to fight it, but the meaning of fighting or purpose of fighting should not be focused only one's own interest. This, I think, one of the main matters. My teacher also mentioned sometime that as bodhisattvas, in sense of person who have great motivation in order to help for the others, this is the bodhisattva. So as bodhisattvas could not be necessarily, or should not be necessarily, always very simple man, always withdrew everything, and very polite and very humble. It's not necessary, he said. And if there's some need to apply wrathful aspect, but main thing is I don't remember that word. Justice is very important. You need to follow after the truth. If you have right, you can, you have to, you need to fight for that purpose. Instead of, I'm trying to achieve Buddha Bodhisattvas, so therefore I always need to be humble, and I should not say anything, always only listen. That's not the correct way of Bodhisattva deeds. So this, I think, the main thing. So then otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, it will solve according to circumstances. Just one example, one of our friend, that person has right to get highermost position in a university. But the person next to that person, our friend, is much younger, junior, but that person fights so very strongly. So therefore, our friend got some difficulties. How should I do? How could I do? Actually, I have right. I'm senior, and I would to get the position of that highermost. So then, this struggle takes for a long time, and after some times, that person, our friend, said, "Okay, I withdrew from this institute, and I got in private." So because of that, there's more or less, if I make it short or story, because that institute gives this our friend this position, highest position, and other didn't get. But this is also something, technique, tactic. It's actually based on the truth. So therefore, we cannot give one answer, one correct answer. So everything is related. Interdependence come from also that situation, right? So therefore, you need to think all the circumstances. There's no one answer. So this is actually I would like to add to my answer yesterday to that question. So I hope you understand me. So now we're going to today with verse number 7. Verse number 7, which is Shungye Kudamri Lojone, Gosu se Melonte. Dani Dak Darthon, Dani Dak Gondon Shiva Jit. Training the mind in the stages of the path. The various essence of the married scriptures is the mirror clearly reflecting the faults and virtues of physical, verbal, and mental acts. Therefore, I will see myself as my own enemy and know myself as my own potato. So maybe it might be better to say, I will see myself as my own enemy, and also, because in Tibetan language there's also, also known myself as my own protector. So, however, in the first row, training the mind in the stages path. Oh, this is a bit difficult. Our Tibetan language is sometimes quite tricky. You should not necessarily write so clear. Just put words together, and the reader need to understand according to their own understanding. But European language, especially German language, it must be clear. Everything need to put on the table. And it's of course there are so much positive effect. It's clear. But sometimes the too clear makes a problem later on. I mean, that's besides only because they here deal with Lamrim and Lojong. Lamrim in Lojong, Lojong in Lamrim. There are three possibilities. So therefore, training the mind in the straight path. So I understand training of mind is one part of Lamrim. So rest part of Lamrim is not training of mind. This actually not correct. All Lamrim paths also belongs to the training of mind, but not so-called training of mind. So-called training of mind is we can find at the lower chapter or end chapter, the last chapter, or from the three. So Lamrim has actually three chapters, right? Chapter which deal with limited motivation, and the second chapter is for the advanced motivation, and third is the highest, and then most advanced motivation. So therefore, this put in the training of the bodhicitta practice. So therefore, we need to think about this a little bit. Andreas, maybe it's good to make note later. Great translator Gavin Lau can think about it, because he, in any case, he's going to redo. It's the text that what we have is not finalized. So people also need to understand that. Okay. So, however, we are talking our masters talking and written and literature. The Lamrim is a mirror, just like mirror. If you have a mirror, you can see your some faults, either your face or your clothes or whatever. So you can check in the mirror with the help of mirror. And therefore, we use a mirror. So likewise, while we are practicing Lamrim, we can see about our mental condition, our physically, verbally reaction or conditions. So everything, we can see everything from the Lamrim practice. So therefore, Lamrim is just like a mirror. And then therefore, the last second two rows. Therefore, I will see myself as my own enemy. This is a very, 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 very important and clear quotation from Sutra. Because, for example, I myself, I'm still in samsara because of my delusions. So my delusion is some sort of a part of my mind, my mental attitude. So through this, through my affective emotions, I draw down in the samsara and not letting get out from this, free from the samsara. So therefore, my mental attitude, which is afflictive emotion, is actually my enemy, right? Because this mental attitude harms me since beginning of time and even now. So therefore, I need to see my mental attitude, which is totally involved by the defilements, is or are enemy, my own enemy. And at the same time, if I understand the root of defilements, and if I see that defilements is only temporary problem in my mind, and I can apply in order to remove or free from defilements, so then I am protecting myself. So I am through this way, as the savior for me actually. It's my own protector or savior. So this one with the most crucial speech of the Buddha. We can connect. We need to put together at the beginning that the number one, verse number 1, and now verse number 7. It goes together. So through both of these sentences or verses, we can see the real purpose or real teaching or real method of Buddha Dharma. Makes it very, very clear that we only can achieve, only can free from samsara and achieve the enlightenment by one's own actions, one's own effort, instead of rely on to the Buddha, to the Sangha, meditation deity, your spiritual friend, Were you shocked? So spiritual friend and all this. Of course, they can, as I mentioned yesterday, so they can help you. They can give some support, not fully support. Otherwise, it's too easy. So this is just we can lay down and sitting comfortably in your sitting room or even you're in bed, just wishing. So I wish that I get help from Buddha and bring me out from samsara. I wish that please bring me out, bring me out, bring me out. Buddha said, okay, I'll try. I'll bring you out. Don't worry about that. That's not the way of Buddhist structure, right? But so therefore, we need to understand the way of Dharma practice. As I will express once more. Real Dhamma practice is nothing, as I understand, I exaggerate a little bit. Nothing to do with doing prayer, nothing to do with some making offerings, prostrations, and asking for the blessings from some others, but by oneself, always watching on our mind and correct in our mind. We need to always on guard. That's the most important. We need to be on guard. I need to take care of myself. So otherwise, my mind, or in my mind, will be affected from some sort of defilements. So they will deceive me. And then I'll get into the totally wrong position. So therefore, I must be on guard. This is very, very important. Up to now, since beginning of the time, still now, we are being in samsara. Why? Because lack of on guard, lack of watching on our mind. We just let go. Wherever my mind goes, we are followed. And my mind follow with conception, after conceptions. And therefore concepts, defilements, concepts are more or less totally sort of influenced or more or less the same as defilements. So they, all defilements ruling me, lead me, and we just follow. We are just never be active to challenge, to against, to refuse, but only just follow. So because that, we only can be remain in samsara till, I don't know, more or less never ending. So that's fine. And then number 8, 취수 관계가 유문남 듀얼 천하 로드 취수 이미 취수 가부 체로장 따나산 취미 never지. Yes. If it's experienced that mental afflictions have been subdued by religious practice, that mind has become the Dhamma, has Dhamma. Therefore, I will certain that just boast about my religious conduct is more artifice, and is not the Dhamma. Or the word religious, I don't know. Okay, never mind. I don't want to discuss too much about the translation technique. But, however, Dhamma, I stick on Dhamma, the word Dhamma, or in sense of Buddhist practice. Buddhist practice why we are doing Buddhist practice. What does it mean of Buddhist practice? Buddhist practice in our Tibetan language is Che. Che is there's some grammatical differences, but in fact, Che means correction. Che means correction. Correction since means if I'm doing something that in order to correct my mind. So this kind of action, I think so, is a Dhamma practice. So all in all, Dhamma practice can only be understood those corrected my mind. If some sort of so-called Dhamma process never correct your mind, that part of that kind of procedure, Dhamma procedure, in the sense of Dhamma procedure, cannot be Buddhism. So, for example, Atisha says, it's deal with impermanence. Atisha says, if you don't concentrate on impermanence one day, that very day is waste for you. If you don't remember on emptiness on the morning time, so your morning would be waste. If you don't concentrate on impermanence in middays, so your midday is lost. If you don't concentrate in the evening, so your time is also waste. Your evening time is waste. This is something to do with this machine, right? I hope that you can hear me. Can you still hear me? All right, thank you. Okay, all right. Thumbs up. Yeah. Yes, people thumbs up. So therefore, I also have the thumbs up. So anyway, so therefore, it's whether your mind connected with Dharma or not, we don't need to ask any other Dharma friends or your teacher, or you don't need to make any divisions. And you can see, we can see by ourselves. I can see by myself whether my mind is with Dharma fully connected or not. So that means if I have feeling that my mind become more calm, that I be in the sense of, and that I'm able to control my mind by myself instead of controlling by the afflictive motions, my mind. So, however, we need to be free from the afflictive emotions. We should not leave afflictive emotion to rule on us. So we must keep this. We need to get certain power to keep distance in order to keep distance from the afflictive emotions, such as attachment, such as hatred. The both of them is actually the main sort of main powerful defilements, right? According to our attitude in our daily life, that we are always running after the goodness of the form, goodness of sound, goodness of smell, goodness of taste, goodness of the feeling. So-called food. Sense objects. Five senses. Five senses. So there are some beautiful forms, such as beautiful cars, such as beautiful flowers, or beautiful house, beautiful garden, beautiful person, and so on. All this become special, very strong object for us to draw out, to I don't know. Actually, there's no right word, because this effect, this reaction, or this state of mind is so strong, so deep. It's really difficult, rather difficult to dispatch or to get separate. So therefore, we always running after goodness of form, goodness of sound. As soon as we hear good music or good kind of other sound, we are attracted so much. And we also attract so much very nice smell, perfumes, and so on and so forth. And taste, of course. Many of loving good foods of French cuisine, or Chinese, or even Japanese, and so on and so forth. And then good feeling through the touching, through the whatever. There are so many possibilities. So these are five senses which irritate us so much. So therefore, if we will have some control, if we will be able to little bit keep distance from this five senses object, so then it's a little bit sign to start Dhamma practice, get into your mind, or your mind connected with Dhamma. If there's no signs of that, so then your Dhamma process just useless, became useless. We are doing Dhamma practice not in order to formalities. It's nothing, some player or something, whatever. But it's need to be a benefit for our mind, in our mind. So, in short, we must expect to change taking place in our mind. This is the most important, and of course, in a good position. Sometimes I think human beings are very funny, very, very funny. Many people rely or expect so much of one's own freedom, so-called freedom. And I have right to enjoy. I'm working, I'm earning money, so I have right to possess very expensive car, very expensive house, very expensive luxurious electric goods or luxury goods, things. I have right to that. What does it mean? I need to free from all these good things. I have right to possess this. This is my freedom. This is actually a wrong attitude of focusing on one's own freedom. And our mental attitude, because this is the only, I think this is a very strong sign that our mind is very close, very focused one's own, in the sense of it's coming from our egoism, right? And at the same time, we neglect the others' benefit and enjoyment by others. I did that. I will keep this. Whether other people will take some part, some share or not, this is not my cup of tea. This is not my business. But my business only that I'll get all this. This is the main thing. To possess everything and to draw to ourselves. Everything is for me, for myself. This is the actually main problem. This is a main problem. It's good to watch in the conversation with others. It's very interesting to be aware that, because quite number of people, some people say every sentence or every second sentence at least, I, my. Never mind what's all you are making conversation. In the conversation, I'm trying to explain certain whatever state, situation, and that listeners say, I will this. When I was this, everything's pull on me, pull on him or her. This is a sign of egoism, egoistic. So I think I'll try to change the point, change the subject, to explain something others. These people draw back and telling about him. For example, we have one friend. It's a real friend because it gives me some hint. When we meet these people, this person, particularly one person, never ask us how is my wife's health condition, how is my condition, how do you feel in our livelihood in Berlin, how is our children, what are they doing, and in the school, working, grandchildren in school, and my daughter and my son, and they're working. No single word. But since beginning till end, our conversation only about this person. I did that. I thought that I must do this. Always I. Hundreds and thousands times of I within our conversation, not yours and about the other people. They never be bothered. It's very clear. It's very obvious. This person is so egoistic. For this person, it's not. It was nice that this person visited us. That's so wonderful. But actually, never be interested. What do our positions? And so therefore, it's a good teaching for me. If I would concentrate so much on my ego, so then it will be like that. So more or less, I think, in the world, actually, I the only person who existed. Other does not exist. Never mind whether they're going by upside down, on hand or whatever. Never mind. But the main thing, I feel better. I feel good. I'm successful, and so on and so forth. So therefore, and then we also have some other couples with children, and this I sometimes several couples, sometimes the wife, sometimes the man, saying, "My children." How can it say my children? It cannot be my children, our children. The man cannot say my children. He cannot only by himself, couldn't have a children. He must include his wife as family. She must include her husband, include in her family. So therefore, always we, our children, our car, our house. If I say my house, just next to your husband is sitting next to you, and the wife talking, my house is this, my house is that, or other route. This is signs of neglect, either your wife or husband. It's not good, not healthy. This is a far more distance, it's a far more away from the Dharma. So therefore we need to train of mind. We need to change our mind or attitude or mental attitude. Even also in the conversation. I, a person, only myself, there's no chance to exist in this world without support by the others. So therefore, from the Buddhist psychological point of view, the common collective thinking is most priority. So everything so include. This is very, very crucial. So therefore, we need to pretending that we are well trained. We don't need to pretend that we are great Buddhists if our mind attitude is not so flexible and not so, sense of others, sense of society. We only oneself, constitute oneself. It's very, very away from the Dharma. So this is the number 8. So therefore, as I mentioned yesterday, are you still all right to hear me? Everybody, somebody's not very clear, and other people, is it okay for you? Right. Okay. Anyway, thumbs up. Great. Thank you. And I lost my point too. Number 9. No, I'm not finished with number 9. I'm with number 8. Yes, that's right. As I mentioned yesterday, main Dharma practice is taking place, if I may say 24 hours, but at least in 16 hours every day. While you're sleeping, I don't know, there are so many things to be explained, but as long as you are awakening, so then you are either you're thinking, or you're talking, or you're doing some action with the physical actions. So this needs to be correct. Your motivation or your way of thinking, as soon as I awake, there's no moment, no single moment that I'm not thinking anything. I'm thinking something. But why you're thinking this way, how you're thinking. Number one, how you're thinking, why you're thinking. And what are you going to do with this way of thinking? These are the very, very important. And then during the day, while you're reacting through the verbal, if you're talking something, or talking to someone, or making conversations, or some physically reaction, such as mimics, the English or the German, I don't know. Mimics, all right. Okay, English. Some mimics, including mimics. And then this is also which mimic of you is and are Dharma, which mimics are not in Dharma. You can see that. If you show a little bit unfriendly or a little bit ignore other people's, this is face reaction is telling you this is Dharma or not Dharma. If you show some little bit unfriendly, including, okay, never mind, including unfriendly face or mimic to the others, expression, great expression. So that will be bad deeds, because other people wouldn't accept that. Other people, what happened with him? He looks not very friendly today, so therefore it's affected. So this affection is negative, so therefore you are accumulated bad karma already. And even don't you know that people, while you're going outside doing some shopping or walking, even in the forest, this is not even smile, but some people don't like to smile, to be smiled. So anyway, just look friendly, just say hello if it's possible. Otherwise, at least you'll be being neutral state, neutral situation. So that will be great, or that will be fine. So therefore, this is many small things. But we have to start with small things. We cannot accumulate the so-called Dharma practice right at the beginning, bodhicitta. In fact, according to our attitude, we don't need to talk about bodhicitta at all. It's too high. Number one, we must get through our regularly, daily attitude properly, nicely, correctly, friendly. So this is a good start with Dharma. We are talking about the benefit for others and so on. This is only verbal. This is empty words now. We are doing actually nothing. We feel quite comfortable. We sit in a comfortable chair or sofa or wherever, and just empty words, saying empty words, nothing good motivation. Even you have some good motivation, but it remains only a few minutes. If it remains some few minutes, that may not be also bad, but maybe some seconds, few seconds. After it's finished. So therefore, it is we have to start right from the beginning, from the simple way of in our daily life. So this is the scale to see whether you are doing really Dhamma practice or not. So without having this attitude, fundamental Dhamma practice, you can do 100,000 prostration per day, you wouldn't achieve any centimeter further to the Buddhahood. Maybe it's good for your exercise, maybe, but the purpose of doing the prostration is not because of exercise, but so-called achievement to the Buddhahood. So this here we wouldn't get, unfortunately. So therefore, it's not easy. First, we need to start. We need to know our position. Yesterday I quoted, if you have quoted with some, I don't remember. So if you have a good mind, your way will be also good. If you have your mind not correctly, your way will be not good. So this is the basic message of the Buddha Dhamma. Everything is dealing with, start with our mind. And then after that comes both verbal action and physical actions. So all these need to be as good as possible, as correct as possible. And on top of that, so then some recitations, some meditations, and some other prostrations, making offerings and reciting or chanting so many texts and so on and so forth. These are the secondary Dhamma practice. These are the really secondary Dhamma practice. So I have some other words afterwards. So now it's number 9. Number 9 is yes. my translator, Gabriel, got a little bit problem to translate this. So he asked me, and I explained a little bit. Nyamre chichi doto chashido kansan bezo kone meditation. Tiyan chishi on song, ichi shibi gyusen tabajis. Practice like a bird hopping on the rocks, making effort everywhere, but with no liberation. And feeling prior to the Christianation is the weakness of faith. And I will understand the reasons why. So hopping on the rock, bird hopping on the rock. This is my word. So that means if you're watching the birds, they're just always jumping from one stone to other stone. They wouldn't remain or stay on one stone for a longer period. Just jumping around. So likewise, so now it's now it comes to the formal Buddhist practice, such as recitation, such as meditation, and so on. So frequently, I'm hearing someone saying that I practice with our Lokeshwara for some weeks. Now it's enough for me. So now I would like to practice. I have interest in Tara. And after sometimes, now it's I did Tara with Tara a few weeks or a few months. So now it's more or less enough for me, and I would like to do the Vajrasattva. And just jumping around. I mean, there's there are several angles to watch it. One side is, of course, they're all thousands of meditation deities have same essence. So therefore, if you practice with one deity, such as a Vajrasattva, you practice others, or you are included others' practice as well. A teacher said, when he came to Tibet, and he got all the information, all the situation about Dhamma practice and this Tibet. And in Tibet already we got so many meditation deities and this and that since 8th century. And then, as you said, we Indians concentrate on one meditation deity, and at the same time, we have practiced hundreds of meditation deity at the same time, as included. And no, not correct. We Indians practice with one deity, and we achieve practice of hundreds of deities. You Tibetans practice 100 deities, you achieve nil. You didn't get any of this deities. So this, of course, other perspective. But however, I would say there are two categories within the special goes through the Tantra practice. I'm not going to deeper, or just some short information. There are two kinds. One is one is the Tantra practice, which is connected with the word commitments, with commitments. If you have commitments such as Vajrayana, such as Vajrayana, such as even Tara and so on, you have to keep this for your lifetime. You cannot say, now it's enough with Vajrayana. It's too rascal for me, too heavy for me, too whatever. And there are so many hands that I cannot meditate this. So I'm fed up. And so I'm going to stop it and change meditation with less hands and less legs and so on. And maybe you can cut a little bit from some hands and some legs. So if you like, just like trees. So if you remove trees, so you need to cut the branches first. And then after that, the tree. So anyway, just joke. This is one, it's not possible. One kind. Another kind is deity practice without having commitment. So they can, if you, in the modern time, people like excluded from the ordinated nuns and monks, they have not many varieties. And they have just robe, and there's wearing robes every day more the same. But we lay person have so many possibilities to change shirts every day, to change suits every day, and ladies' dresses and everything change. Maybe some ladies changing 3, 4, 5 times per day. That's also possible. So, of course, on your choice that you can do that. So, no problem. So, likewise, if you feel practicing white Tara for some days or so, most welcome. And then want to change the red Tara, welcome. Want to change the green Tara, welcome. And want to change and blue Tara, welcome. And black Tara, most welcome. No problem. As long as you don't, if you don't have a commitment. But in fact, from setting, out of setting, or mental or basic idea, is not like clothes to change in in certain times, but to keep lifetime, for lifetimes. So anyway, number of meditation deity to practice is secondary. The quality of practice, any kind of deity, is crucial. So therefore, we need to understand properly. Okay, that's enough. The first part, practice like a bird hopping on the rocks, making effort everywhere, but no liberation. So now the next, and the feeling prayer to procrastination is the weakness of faith. So that means it's more or less or mainly goes through the formal practice, such as a retreat, saying, now I need to work, I have no time, and maybe if I have some summer holidays or something like that, or maybe when I reach the retirement, so then I'll do this. So this is actually not so correct. That's so correct. And only deal with form of practice, right? Actual practice, which I explained, which I emphasize so much in daily life, there's no problem. Either you are driving car, or either you are traveling, either you are doing some whatever, going for the outing or meeting other people. We have so many good chances, so marvelous chances to practice properly, especially during our meeting with people. This is during our meeting. Is it all right with loudspeaker? Can you hear me? Okay. So during our meeting, this is a golden chance to practice Dharma correctly, because there are always some exchanges taking place, making conversations, making discussions, so whatever. These are the very, very important time for all of us. So then we need to be carefully, making conversation carefully, and not harming others, not concentrate too much on your on one's own benefit, with neglect others' benefit, without neglect others' benefit, and so on and so forth. So these are the we need to be nice. So now maybe is it better or not? Can you hear me? Still okay? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm shouting from Germany and reach to the People's Republic of China. And it's so far, but still I can reach you. Okay. So anyway, this is important to watch. And one short word, awareness is most crucial for our practice. We need to be on guard. We need to be aware all our conducts, speech, motivation, and physical reaction. So that's actually what I'm going to say. So now, number 10. Yes, this, in fact, actually, I mentioned a little bit, I explained a little bit already. Chöla zebe duzi ngejeshi, chöla chöngwa ma shebe, rana wang chusi nishirin, shenden zebe chösha kogi, claiming seek and seek a particular time for pursuing the Dharma is not recognized the Dharma. Therefore, I will understand that working for others in the 24 hours at my command is the best Dharma practice. Yes, that's right. I will understand that working for others in the 24 hours as at my command Actually, this English translation is better than my Tibetan. Yeah, because he wrote this 24 hours at my command. This is really wonderful, beautiful. That I missed that. Yes, I failed. Mm. In Tibetan says, the 24 hours that I have. This is very passive. This is wonderful, yes. And wenn 24 Stunden, die mir zur Verfügung stehen, das ist more or less according to my word. Okay, anyway. So I think actually I explained already. But still I need to explain one thing. Great teacher, Gongtan Jambayang. I think Gongtan Jambayang, yes, right. So I wasted so many times in my life. And first 20 years long, I'm just missed because I was too young. So therefore, I'm not come across to think about Dharma practice. And then after that, for 20 years long, I would like to do, but somehow I'm not. I couldn't manage that to do so. And then that was 40 years now. And then after that, another 20 years. Oh, now I couldn't do that. Now I couldn't manage that. Only thinking about this, and so all 60 years waste. So this is my biography. So he said, but this is only for the, this is not for the general Dharma practice, but formal Dharma practice. Please keep in your mind. This is really crucial. Really actual Dharma practice and formal Dharma practice need to be distinguished or separate. Formal practice such as meditation, such as retreat, of course, if you do some retreat, you need to, generally speaking, traditional way, we have to stay in one place, in one place, and to finish or to complete the retreat. So therefore, the formal Dharma process need to have a certain time. I'm doing practice in the morning. During the daytime, I'm going for a walk or study at school, at the university, and the working also. And then in the evening, I would like to do something, but I feel tired. In the morning it's too early, too short, and so on. So there was so many problems. Of course, I understand that. So therefore, we need to try to adjust according to your time. That's the only for formal Dharma process. But the main Dharma process, you have, as I mentioned earlier, more than 16 hours time to practice Dharma practice properly. So we should not forget about this. And now the number 11. Lama Jambu Chasha Semena, Devachinat Muteve, Sabde Shunuchim Tembete, Namto Loin to be Shevachi. Prostrations, offerings, requests, prayers, faith and blessings, without a mind that has been trained, will not bring liberation. Therefore, I will come to know through analysis the points presented in the vast and profound spiritual tradition. So this is a very, very crucial. And we are talking in the traditional way. In the traditional way, we are talking about hearing, thinking, and get used to it. This moment, I will try to avoid. I would like to avoid to say meditating. Gom, meditation, the word meditation, gom, is a certain grammatical form, different form of gom. Gom is higher, gom is lower. Gom means to get used to it, become habit. And if you drink alcohol every day, first maybe only weekends, then maybe every evening 1 glass of very nice wine. And then it gets just only 1 glass or half glass. But then after sometimes this glass will be filled a little bit more. And then second glass, every day 2 glasses. And then every day 3 glasses. And after sometimes every day 1 bottle. But this is to get used to it, to drink and to smoke as well. And whatever we're doing, it's everything is get to use it. So likewise, we have to use it to think whatever we can read in the scriptures. In scripture, there are so many explained how we should react, what we should react, which way should we react. There are so many explanations that are taking place or to find in the, for example, Lamrim. And then I understand that. And then after that, I need to concentrate on that subject, the same subject. And through the thinking and thinking continuously, one get used to it. I'm always thinking about that. I'll be able to thinking every day. So this is to get used to it. This is in fact gone. So otherwise, as soon as we are talking about meditation, there's a distinct position and so on and so forth. Of course, this is also important part. We can understand a certain important part, but actually, our mind, we can give certain place, certain direction to concentrate. We don't let our mind to think everywhere without boundary. So that's the main problem of us, right? So then, through this way, our mind will be in order. Our mind will be able to concentrate where I would like to do so. I would like to know faith and blessings. These two words need to be explained a little bit. Faith. There are three kinds of faith. One is admiration to the qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Another one is the faith in that we are, I would like to avoid belief, that we are understanding, the karma is true. There are karma, there's the karma. The karma will working properly. If there's some cause, there will be also result. Any action of myself will produce certain effect. This is karma. So therefore, I convinced there's karma. This is second, what was that? Faith. Third faith is the quality, such as Buddha's quality, such as Dhamma's quality, seeing as my own target, my own aim. I would like to become Buddhahood. I would like to achieve the truth of sensation. So because that, I would like to get into the truth of path. In the sense of mental development, mental positive development. So these are the three kinds of faith. Also, many of faiths are deal with wondering, admiring to the qualities, good qualities of Buddha's teaching, and the Dhamma practice, and development of our mind. This is the main thing, very important thing. So without knowing this, we will be not attracted to practice. I can see there's quality. I can see that quality I can achieve. Therefore, I would like to achieve. So therefore, I'm doing this and that practice. This is very beautiful. So therefore, it's a good time to say, some people have problem practice continuously. After some days, some weeks, people feel a little bit tired. Or as soon as started to meditate, to recite, to think with readings, then fall asleep. I cannot concentrate and I fall asleep. Why? Because I couldn't find the quality of these dreams. So without having knowledge of doing practice, you will not attracted. You are no more interested. If you're interested, you will be not able to stop it. Doing business, there are some profit. You see the profit. You see the abilities to achieve this, to get this profit. So you are so interested, and then you will do this, and no one give back to you. You be always, you apply very strong effort, because you see this goal. This is a big profit. So people also say, I can see profit. So therefore, in order to achieve that, so we can pay everything, we can take risk, everything. So like this. So we need to see the good quality of the result. Without knowing this, of course, there's no wonder. It's very logical. It's very logical. So this for the faith. And blessings. Blessings is a very interesting phenomenon. Very interesting phenomenon. Blessings have a very strong effect, but blessings doesn't work at the same time, I can say, because I'm watching from two angles. Blessings have effort in the sense of, it's a good example is, what's the name of that treatment? Reiki, right? Reiki, I don't know whether it's English, also Reiki, some treatment. And this Reiki treatment can also give, of course, meeting person to person and personally, and not really touching, but hand over your body and your special body point where you have some pain or discomfort, right? But you also can give Reiki from the long distance. So this is exactly the same. How it's functioning? It's the same. The function is actually the same. So that means there is a way to send mental power to the patient. So this is a blessing. But at the same time, to receive blessing, need to be subject and object. If I would like to receive some blessings from White Tara, White Tara is always ready to give me blessing, because the nature of White Tara and other deities is Buddha. Buddha's emanation. So therefore, Buddha has only one duty to protect us, all sentient beings. So therefore, they are always ready. They're waiting for that. But we are not ready to receive that. Because although we are asking for blessing, but we are asking only from the mouth, only verbal level, not from the heart. So we have to have strong connection, bottom of our heart. As soon as we open, we'll be able to open it to such as White Tara. So Tara's blessing in sense of positive energy. This blessing is nothing else, positive energy. Positive energy will be draw or goes into my heart automatically. So whether I receive blessings or not depends not on the meditation deities or some other maybe say persons such as Buddhas, but up to me. So this is the most important part. I try to avoid to say blessings from teacher. I intentionally avoid to use the blessings from teacher at this moment because it comes later part. So it's if we're talking about Buddha, meditation, deity, bodhisattvas, and so on, this is more neutral, and it's better. We can work better way, safer way. As soon as we are involved with our spiritual friend since so-called gurus will be officially says spiritual friend or actually good friend says. Gewe Shinyin, Gewa is good and virtues. Shinyin is a friend, virtuous friend, not good friend. So then as soon as we are connected with Lebendig, lively teacher, living teacher. So as long as you have more or less good relationship, that will be functioning. But as soon as something happened, some human communication problems, so then your faith or your blessing will be disaster. So therefore, it's need to be taken care very much with this matter. So this will be something subject in the later part. So this is actually what we are going to do today. And in fact, I've just tried to explain something a little bit up to verse 11 and number 12 and number 13. Up to number 13, I'm still not started Instructions Lamrim 60 verses. Instructions Lamrim yet. So it will take some time, or maybe and then next course, as long as we are living, we will be able to live for such a long time, one never knows. And everything is impermanent. So, but however, we are just pretending that we'll be able to discuss this matter. So I'm very much enjoyed to be here in Tibethaus and to be able to talk to you here. I think 23% people in person, and then quite a number of people from the various countries. So therefore, I would like to express my thanks to all those people who participate with our Zoom meeting for yesterday and today. And I'm very, very happy to see you all. And there's so many many people that I'm seeing are good friends. And there are some new faces, of course, I can see that. So we're hoping that we will also become a good friends in the near future. So anyway, hope to see you somewhere, sometime, somehow. So thank you very much for your consultation. 谢谢大家。